Imagine waking up one day to find your marriage falling apart and you don't even know why. That's scary, right? In today's video, I'm revealing the surprising mistakes many husbands make and how you can turn it all around by learning to truly cherish your wife. Trust me, this could save your marriage and transform your life. I'm Darryl McGee, and I work with husbands around the world helping them better communicate and connect with their wives. And I want to welcome you to the Growth Coaching Experience. Let's dive in. Cherishing your wife is when you hold her in the highest regard, when you respect her, you give her affection, you treasure her, and you show her gratitude consistently. It's when you recognize her value and you express your love in ways that make her feel valued and special. Just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, here are a few examples. Compliments and affirmations. You can look into her eyes and tell her how beautiful she is. Or you can say something along the lines of, baby, I appreciate everything that you're doing for our family. Just affirm her and give her compliments. Another idea is spending quality time. Yeah, we hear this all the time. And if your wife is anything like my wife have been and kind of still is, she's gonna say this a lot. We need to spend time together. We need to spend time together. I got you. So what I mean by spending quality time is set aside a few minutes. No distractions. No distractions. Turn off the game. Turn off the TV. Or just no distractions at all. And actually engage in a conversation with her. Don't just sit there and just let her talk and you're like, okay, yeah. Like, actually get engaged. Be interested in what she has to say. Be interested in what she's doing. And get in it with her. Engage. Look, me personally, I did not give my wife quality time. If we were in the same room of the house, and in my eyes, we were spending quality time together. But I started to realize that it was much deeper than that. Like, my wife needed to be heard. She needed to be empathized with. Or in other words, she needed me to feel what she was feeling so that we can connect. You see what I'm saying? And so as I learned this, when she started telling me how she was feeling throughout her day, I would give her my undivided attention and listen. And the funny thing is, the more that I did this, the more kind and caring she became. And this was just simply because I started cherishing her. Listen, changing your marriage, it doesn't have to be complicated at all. And one thing that you should know as a husband, as a leader of your home, we all face ourselves. When it boils down to the end, we have to change our own actions. We have to look at our actions and begin to change our own actions in order to see change. And a good place to start would be cherishing your wife, learning to cherish your wife. And just like with anything else, there's a positive and there's also a negative side or consequences to not cherishing your wife. So to start, I want to talk about and look at the consequences of not cherishing your wife. All right, look, speaking from experience, there are two roots of neglect that grow and branch off into other limbs that I want to talk about. So when the seed of neglect is planted into our marriage, the first root that sprouts is disconnection. When my wife and I were going through a rough patch in our marriage, there were a few things that I would consistently hear her say. Things like, you're not listening, you don't understand, and we don't spend enough time together. And see, at the time, I didn't realize it, but she was feeling neglected. And in her eyes, her husband was not there for her emotionally. So think about this. I know you would probably agree that women are more emotional beings, right? So what if you as the husband focus more on being there for her emotionally? How would that change your marriage? And look, I'm interested in your answer, so let me know what you actually think. But because I wasn't emotionally available for my wife, over time we started growing apart. There was little to no intimacy, and the connection that we once had just started to dissolve. And on top of that, our communication was horrible. You hear me? Our communication, there was no communication. Man, look, we was facing battles spiritually, mentally, physically, because my wife, she was pregnant at this time as well. And to make matters worse, we was fighting alone. We didn't have each other's back. We weren't really there for each other. And to go even further, man, misunderstandings would happen more and more. And the important conversations that we needed to have, we just avoided them because we weren't ready. And all of that going on, it led to the second root sprouting, which is resentment. Resentment is that deep feeling of anger, bitterness, or frustration because you've been hurt or you've been disrespected consistently. So understand, this is not that immediate ticked off anger. Like, this is not that. This is the anger that's been brewing. It's been stewing down below for a while. Like, it's been building up slow. That anger, that's that resentment. It's been built up over time because of the fights that you and your wife may have that never got resolved. Or maybe it's just unmet needs or unmet expectations or just being disappointed repeatedly. And this actually goes back to respect or the lack of respect. Because when resentment is present in your marriage, it kills respect. It kills it. So you're no longer respecting her, she's no longer respecting you, and now you guys are not on the same page at all. And the ironic part about it is respect is one of those pillars that's needed in a healthy marriage. There's really no need for me to say this, but I'm just gonna say it anyways. Not cherishing your wife is gonna increase misunderstandings and conflicts. And when those increase, it makes a healthy marriage sick. And that sickness is gonna spread to you guys feeling unloved and unappreciated. And that may lead to you seeking what you're not getting in your marriage from a different place. And we know that's probably not gonna end too well. And that's gonna branch off into so many other things that's gonna hurt so many other people. So now on the flip side, in Ephesians 5:25, husbands are told to love their wives as Christ loved the church. And we know for a fact that Jesus loved the church with selfless and sacrificial love. When you cherish your wife with this Christ-like love, it's going to show her your commitment for her. And on top of that, it's going to build trust in your marriage. And where there is trust, there's a safe environment where openness can be present. And that deepens the emotional connection between you two. I need you to understand that when your wife feels more secure and respected, conflict in your marriage will happen far less. And that makes space for a more peaceful marriage. All right, let me break it down. See, look, security, it comes from you being consistent and demonstrating your love, care, and support towards your wife. Because when your wife feels and knows she's valued and the things that she feels and thinks are important to you, this builds that trust. And trust is what lowers the wall of fear and anxiety, enabling you and her to both communicate open and effectively. You get me? All right. And I want you to think about this. Really think about this. A lot of your arguments could simply be because of lack of trust. And I'm not necessarily saying a lack of trust with other people or the opposite sex. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying a lack of trust in handing your feelings to her, or her handing her feelings to you. Like when you hand her your feelings to your wife, how does she handle them? Are you afraid that she's gonna hurt you? And vice versa, is she afraid that you're gonna hurt her, that you're not gonna make her feel valued? Do you value her feelings? So that's what I mean when I say a lack of trust. You guys may not trust each other with your feelings. So, of course, you as a man, you want your wife to respect you. And we all know that you have to give it to get it. And the way that you can respect your wife is acknowledging her opinions, what she thinks, her values or the things she values, and the things that she brings to the relationship. If you're thinking, well, my wife don't bring nothing to the table, bro, you gotta make sure that you're not being Superman, or you're not trying to play Superman. What do I mean by that? Is you're trying to handle everything on your own because you're the quote-unquote man. Listen, God created woman to help man, right? So let your wife be able to do her job and to be able to help you, because you're human. You're human. We make mistakes, we fall. It's a part of what we do. So allow your wife to be there for you, to be able to encourage you and lift you up, or to be able to help you take care of a task. Like don't try to handle everything on your own. And the funny thing about it is when you let this go of you can do it on your own, you'll experience more peace. Your mind can be a lot more clear. And this also can help the connection in your marriage grow as well, because you guys are working together instead of apart or alone. And look, I'm only saying this because this is exactly what I did. I would try to handle everything on my own because I'm the man, you know. But then I would get frustrated or mad or upset because I felt like my wife wasn't doing anything to contribute or to help me out. Simply put, I didn't trust or respect what my wife brought to the table because I didn't feel like it would get done my way or the way that I would do it. So basically, without saying it, I felt like I was right and she was wrong. So I didn't have any room for her to come and sit at my table. And she's my wife. You see how crazy that sounds? But the crazy part is when I started respecting my wife and I started trusting her, things in my marriage became more cooperative and way more peaceful. Way more peaceful. And see, look, this led to fewer conflicts in our marriage because my wife knew that when she expressed her feelings or concerns, that they would be heard and addressed. So now, when a conflict does happen, she can stay calm and I can stay calm, and we can work together and create the environment to resolve the issue at hand and not prolong it. So cherishing your wife, it helps you and your wife grow. When she feels safe to express her true self, it'll enable you to do the same thing. When you cherish your wife, it'll boost her self-esteem and her confidence, and that'll enable her to do the same for you. And now your self-esteem and confidence will be boosted. And see, now you both feel the partnership. And because you feel that partnership, you both are committed to encouraging, helping, and pushing each other to grow. And the most important thing is that cherishing your wife is in line with God's will for marriage, or the way that God set marriage up. And when your marriage is rooted in these biblical principles, it pushes you and her to support each other's spiritual journey and causing you both to grow in faith and your relationship with Jesus Christ. Listen, if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel so you can continue to get this kind of information to help you communicate and connect better with your wife. All right, listen, before we wrap things up, I just want to give you a few practical strategies that you can start implementing to help your marriage today. Because to know without doing is like having the key to a door that you don't open. All right, strategy number 1, give her affirmations. This builds her up while simultaneously reinforces your love for her, making her feel valued and cherished. So look, a quick way you can do this is I want you to write down a list. Go ahead, get your pen, get your paper, and do this. Write you a list of the things that you love about your wife. That's what I want you to do. And the things that you love, you're gonna pull the affirmations from this list. This can be as simple as telling her that she's beautiful, or just thanking her for something that she's done. Okay, the second strategy is acts of service. This is gonna demonstrate to her that you care about her well-being and that you're willing to serve her, which builds a deeper connection. And look, man, I believe this is an underrated strategy. Society seems to just dismiss and all serving as a husband in your marriage. But as a husband, serving your wife is necessary and powerful, and it will strengthen your marriage like crazy. And you do this by paying attention to what she needs, or to make it even easier, you just ask her if there's something that you can do to make her day more easy. And the third strategy is spend time with your lady. This is going to help keep intimacy in your marriage and even strengthen it. This shows your wife that she's a priority in your life. Be sure to dedicate time to spend with your wife. Turn off the phone, turn off the TV if y'all not planning to watch a movie. Give her your attention and focus on being present with her. You can do date night. Shoot, go take a walk together, man. Or you can just find something that you both enjoy doing. So, to wrap things up, man, I want you guys to take these practical strategies to heart. If you got to, go back, rewind the video, and start with the practical strategy number 1. Write it down if you have to. And to make matters even better, don't try to implement it all at once. Just pick one, get good at that one, then move on. I want you to understand that cherishing your wife is a hefty investment in your marriage. When you consistently love, respect, and show your appreciation, man, you're building a foundation that's gonna withstand the challenges of life. Bro, think about the impact this can have. It can transform how you communicate, how you handle conflict, and how you grow together as a couple. This won't just impact you and your wife. It's gonna impact your family as a whole. Now, I get it. It can be very easy to get caught up being busy. But I challenge you to make cherishing your wife a priority, a daily priority in your life. If you really want to change your marriage, cherish your wife daily. And it starts with practice. Just take a step, a little step. Maybe just give her one more extra compliment or one more act of kindness. Maybe just give her a little more quality time. Remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. So look, man, if you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that like button for me, because this is going to help the channel get out to more husbands who could benefit from this video. And if you haven't already, man, go ahead and subscribe. Look, I'm building a community of men who are committed to growing and thriving in their marriages. And look, I just hate for you guys to miss out on that. So look, man, I appreciate you for watching. And I want you to remember, a stronger family starts with a stronger you. Peace.